We are certainly with Buckeye royalty right now, Hall of Famer and, well, national champion coach Jim Tressel, and we are ready to play this game. As you look at this contest, everyone's picking Ohio State to win. And, you know, I know Urban's and you and Earl and everybody, don't listen to all the noise. Right. And here it is, everyone's picking Ohio State.
Well, you know, that's one of the challenges of a ball game like this is keeping that focus. And whichever team can do that and then go out and execute has a chance. But when you get distracted, it can be a bit of a problem. But, you know, I've been around these guys a lot this year. They seem to have a resolve. They seem to have a focus. They seem to have a mission. And what's nice about the playoffs is you don't have that long layoff to have your mind wander because you have to play game after game after game. So I think they'll be ready.
Tress, we have seen a run like, I don't know, I mean, I think about your club and how you guys kept finding ways to win. Ever since this team lost to Michigan, they get 7th ranked Tennessee, they get top ranked Oregon, they get Texas, and now they get Notre Dame. I mean, this has been an unprecedented run.
It really has, and it's really exciting for college football to see teams, you know, top 10 teams playing week after week after week. And that's the fun of it. And I remember talking to both Ryan and Marcus early on and saying, hey, if you can get into the tournament, you are going to have so much fun, and you might have a chance to beat 4 top 10 teams in a row, and you'll just have a blast. And I think they're enjoying it, and they have the rhythm. And it's 2 classy teams playing for the top spot.
You look at Ryan, this is not his first time in this situation. 2020, he was there, lost to Nick Saban in the national title game, Alabama. How much does that benefit him that he's been here before?
You know, I think there's a little advantage there. You know, I don't know that his players, you know, have been there or his whole staff, but I think his calm will be important. The fact that he's been in a lot of big games, you know, and you know, Marcus has been in some big games, but not quite this many. But you know what? When the pads start cracking, it really won't matter whether the coaches have been in big games or not. It's what the players are going to do.
You've got a relationship with both these coaches. You've become a confidant to Ryan Day. Marcus Freeman played for you. I know you love both those guys.
Well, no question. And you know, I think about this is an interesting time in college football. You know, all of the stuff going on, right? NIL and portal and so forth. Isn't it great that 2 first-class coaching staffs and 2 first-class teams to represent the game and really to have this first tournament style championship? I couldn't be prouder of both those guys.
You won it in 2002. Urban won it in 2014, the first 4-team playoff. Now this is the first 12-team playoff. What do you think?
Well, you know, that's the fun of it, and the team that can grind through this deserves to wear that crown. There's no question.
As you look at this game tonight, obviously some people have predicted Notre Dame's got a narrow path to victory. Obviously, their defense is ranked 2nd in the country. They're going to have to find a way to slow down this explosive offense for Ohio State. But a lot of people are saying if they can get sustained long drives, because they like to run the football, is that the path, you think?
I think the path for both teams is don't turn it over, because you don't want to give those short drives to either of these teams, because both of them are so good on defense. You know, they want you to have to earn your way a long way down the field. So I think those mistakes, and also don't give away those free ones. We've got to cut down our penalties a little bit. We had a couple too many penalties this last week. But, you know, it's going to come down to who handles the interior, who makes the plays, the explosive gains, the big catches, the big throws, the big runs. And, you know, it's going to be fun to watch.
I asked Urban about what he thought changed between the loss to Michigan and where we're at now. And he said, I'm not really sure. I hope it comes out in a book someday. We overanalyze things sometimes, Coach. Is it as simple as get the ball to your best players, and sometimes the pass opens up the run?
You know, I'm not sure it was an X and O thing that changed, personally. You know, I think the team came in with really high expectations, and there's a little bit of pressure there. And then all of a sudden you're rolling pretty good, and people think you're doing pretty good. And and then you have an adversity happen. And the urgency in the locker room that brings really doesn't have much to do with X's and O's, in my opinion. It has to do with, a resolve, and you can see it in these guys' eyes. And I think Notre Dame went through the same thing. After Northern Illinois, it was off with their heads. They're not good enough. And all of a sudden, a resolve was created there. So I don't know that it's X's and O's. I think it's the mind is what wins.
Let me ask you this, and like I said, you've become a confidant to Ryan Day, and you were in the hot seat. You know what it's like to coach at this place. How about the job he's done, the resolve he's shown, the resilience he's shown? It could have been easy for this team to fold 10 after losing to Michigan, but here they are, and they're on the verge of hopefully winning a national title.
Well, you can see the closeness of the staff with the team. They believe in each other. They love one another. They went through a tough time together. And I think the thing that Ryan did a great job of was not only having that in effect, but also letting the Buckeye Nation know that he appreciates them and that he knows that they were suffering too. And that, thanks for coming out to the Tennessee game where it was 10 degrees and you could have been home for the holidays, or the students not going home and staying and then going to the Rose Bowl and going to Dallas. And I think he really appreciates that. And I think the team has grown to understand how important they are to this Buckeye Nation. And that helps propel you as well.
The other thing, Tress, and you and I are old school guys, we remember the 10-year war. The world of college football is changing. Many believe, and Ryan says, it's almost like pro football now. There's only been one undefeated Super Bowl champion. I mean, this is the world we're in now. They're getting ready to play their 16th game.
No, that's right. And the wear and tear on their bodies, but the hardest part is in your mind, is keeping that emotional gas tank full. So maybe that tough moment the Buckeyes had in November helped refuel that emotion. Maybe that loss in September that Notre Dame had to Northern Illinois helped them refill that emotional gas tank. But it's the long haul that counts, and that's something we keep reminding them.
All right, Tress, I'm going to put you on the spot. Ohio State, Notre Dame tonight. You're vested with both these teams. You're close with both coaches. Who wins and why?
You've always accused me of being like the senator or something like that and giving senatorial type things. It's going to be number one in my mind. I want both teams to play their best, because I've been in national championship games where I didn't feel as if I prepared my team as well, and we didn't play as well. And I don't want either of these guys to ever carry that feeling with them the rest of their lives. So after that, I would tell you, whichever team makes the least mistakes, both the fatal ones like the turnovers and the penalties and missed assignments and those kinds of things, it's going to be a battle, and I think the country's going to enjoy looking at it. And I'm a Buckeye. I mean, I've got my Buckeye gear on, but I also love Marcus Freeman, so I'm rooting for everybody.
Well, let me tell you what, if you're running for senator, I'm voting for you. The one and only Jim Tressel.